Hi, my name's John Cheney. This is my video for the effect of malaria and various other diseases on the human society. So, the first topic I wanted to hit was, or I guess it's not really a topic, the first little semi-point I wanted to hit was how do people normally view diseases? Well, most people normally view diseases as a problem. Diseases aren't the best thing when you look at it in our point of view. For starters, they cause death. Think about all the millions of people who have died over the centuries. There's probably billions. And even if you don't die from it, you're in a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort, a lot of you just feel like crap. And then you gotta think about how your loved ones and friends feel whenever they see you sick. You know, it causes a lot of pain for them too, even if they're not the one sick. And a lot of people don't look at diseases as a good thing because whenever you ever like looked at your aunt or cousin or somebody, been like, well, I hope they get a disease. But besides that negative point of view on diseases, society itself wouldn't be that way if we didn't have them. For starters, our modern medicine is the way it is because of diseases. Scientists wouldn't have a reason to study plants and animal parts or anything else if it wasn't for diseases. They've spent centuries trying to find cures for every disease known and even diseases that they don't know yet. So without diseases, we wouldn't have had that push to get the medicine we have today. And two, just our natural immune system is better because of diseases. Not only have scientists looked into cures for diseases and stuff like that, but they've also just through that process have thought of ways for us to better maintain our bodies, whether it's through healthier eating, exercise, supplements, just whatever it is whatever it takes to make us healthier. They have thought about that. And we probably wouldn't think about that if we didn't have diseases. Something was so without diseases in our modern society, something as common as the cold could possibly be life threatening because of that. And the next topic I wanted to hit was it's also population control. I know population control itself sounds like a bad thing. Why would you want to control the population? But there's many reasons to it. Well, yes, certain resources like water is something that can neither be created nor destroyed, which means we'll never run out of water. You have a limit to how much you have allocated to you at a certain time. So yes, we'll always have water, but what are we going to do when we have more people than we have drinkable water at the moment? Or food, for instance. Yes, we can grow food and we can raise food, but what are we going to do when we have more people than the amount of food we're growing and raising can handle? So, think about the Black Plague. Just every few hundred years or so the nature itself, it creates a disease as its own form of population control. The Black Plague, how many thousands of people did that kill? And society probably wouldn't be the way it is now if the Black Plague didn't happen because there would be an overpopulation of people. And the next topic I wanted to hit was three different ways that I would consider using to help mitigate diseases in human population. So the first one would be work on animal health. You don't really think about it, but like malaria, for example, malaria comes from mosquito bites. If your animals aren't healthy and or clean, then that's how diseases most likely get spread the quickest. So if we work on a better way to have our animals more clean and just harder for them to carry diseases, then diseases will be less likely to spread. Yes, you'll still have your human to human spread of diseases, but if you can cut it at the source, then over time it'll eventually go away. The next thing I would do is immune system boosters. I know I already talked about boosting our immune system and stuff. But if your immune system's so strong, the disease has no chance, then the disease is going to die out because diseases require human bodies or animal bodies, just a living organism in general, to be able to survive. It can't survive on its own. So if your body's just too strong for the disease to handle, it'll die out, and eventually no human or animal will ever have it. And the third thing would be to have a better disease outbreak response system. I mean, we saw with COVID, the world itself almost collapsed. If you don't have a good way to respond to a disease outbreak, then society is never going to make it. Because while many people would like, I mean, trust me, me myself would love to just sit at home all day and not have to work, but society needs people to work to be able to function. And if people aren't able to work because a disease breaks out and there's no way to handle it, then society itself is going to fail. And the final point I wanted to say was I would not make vaccinations mandatory. While yes, vaccinations are a good thing and they do help society in the long run, I mean, it's still the person's choice. And two, there's a thing called herd immunity. If nobody has herd immunity, then as soon as a new form of that disease breaks out or something, that vaccine, it's worthless. And there's a good three-quarters of the population gone, potentially, because there is no herd immunity. And that is all I have on the topic for today. Again, I'm John Cheney. Thank you for listening.